Good evening. It's it's Saturday. It's not even that time again. It's just Saturday. Welcome to a very special stream. In this stream, we're gonna be going. Gosh darn it. The dog is barking. I don't even know why it's barking, but he's barking up. We're gonna go and play some Doom with a mod called Guncaster Vindicated, which is actually a spin-off of Guncaster, as well as a thing called Compendium, which is a mod that is more mods. I'm saying mods, but they're WODs. Look, I don't know what to tell y'all. For me, I've been playing Doom since it came out. And that's not like a flex or anything like that. That's just it's Doom. It's awesome. The gore is cheesy. I mean, it's sprites. It's 2D graphics. It's not that bad. But boy oh boy, being in school during the time of events that happened during Doom being out, I gotta tell you, it's kind of sucked, right? So, what I'm doing right now is loading up the list. Earlier, I actually went through like all of these, or not all of them, but let's see here, 9 of them. I figure with 22 games, I should do a recap of everything that we've had to go through leading up to the anniversary of me streaming, like actually doing it instead of just slacking off, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow is a year of me doing this, right? And it's been fun. There's been some moments. I probably sound a little bit different this time just because I'm using the NVIDIA voice thing. And that's mainly because I'm going to be playing with the keyboard. You'll be hearing clickety clacks, right? So, yeah. So before we get started, oops. Hey, Rick Astley. How you doing? I have to go get a bottle of water, as I don't have one right now. So I will be back very shortly. Bear with me. Okay. That's okay. That's fine. Thank you for waiting. Let's switch over to it. Okay. Put the audio down just a little bit. And it's not working the way I thought it would. Yeah, I'm doing Doom. We're gonna play, I'll just adjust the volume in the game, I guess. We're gonna play a mod called Guncaster, where you play as like a dragon. And then Compendium, which is a bunch of older Doom mods compiled together. Sound options. Okay. So, Doom holds a very special place in my heart. It came out in like the early 90s. And just look, this isn't even a half of it. This isn't even like a dent in all the custom stuff that people over the decades have put out for this game. And you got some big hitters here, right? Like, all of these are 32-ish levels of Doom. And I need to pick one. And I mean, there's some that I kind of lean towards, but I'm just not sure. Oh, let's do this. Quick save on the mouse. Well, I guess what I could do is just pick something and play it for a little bit, and then if it gets to be dumb or anything, we can always jump to something else. As there's a lot. And I think I'll start with one of my favorite ones here, called Icarus. Alien Vanguard, put out by Team TNT in an age of Doom when the source ports weren't even out. So we're a dragon, and we have cool guns, but we also have fire. Oh, I don't have all the... You get a shop to buy stuff. You can climb up ledges, which will totally break some of these maps, but I'll try not to break it. So, you having a nice day today? I've been having a nice time. They don't really drop the bullets we need. They're dropping bullets for a different gun that we don't even have yet. Kinda sucks. That's okay. You're sleepy. Well, get some sleep. I mean, it's always good to get a proper amount of sleep. Now with the gun that we have here, it pierces through enemies. So if we can line them up, you can actually do some damage. I want to put this shotgun thing. Oh, give him this. Oh, that hurt us too. That's fine. Strucker shotgun. Okay. You won't sleep. Well. I have been there. It sucks. So, in this, we're like at a space station type thing or something. I think it's a spaceship, actually. And we're gonna go into space, which is pretty neat. This mod came out, or this level set came out before a lot of the heavy scripting. So it's, you know, it's old. This is a very old WOD for Doom. Fun. But old. Now, the other mod, though, was, like, recently updated as of last month, I think. Where we're a dragon. And I got Flame Breath. Later, we'll be able to pick up some modifications to our ammo that will, like, drill into enemies and stuff. Hey, Psyched. How you doing? Let's do this. Make sure you check out Psyched. Not only does Psyched have a YouTube channel, but he also streams on Twitch. I said that in the wrong order. Much like the order... Well, the order I'm going to do this for the Resident Evil games isn't the wrong order, it's just the order that I played them in, which was by release date. First, check out this really cool... Oh, it's... You know, it's like a chapel for the ship, right? What if we... Oh, no. Definitely not the best chapel for a ship. And there was something hidden behind there. But hey, at least we got some armor. Yeah, but it's Doom, so what do you expect? Oh, look at that. Gabriel is giving a host. Thank you very much, Gabriel, for the host. You're going to be kind of in for a shock today. It's not Resident Evil. I'll be going over some Resident Evil stuff in a little bit. But first, we're playing a little bit of Doom and focusing on that before I go into this. Tonight, hey Gabriel, how you doing? Tonight is kind of a chill stream. I'm not gonna play Resident Evil, and the reason is because last night we beat Resident Evil 3 without cheats, which I think is a feat because the last boss fight sucks. And well, we've got one game left, and then I'm done with Resident Evil. Okay, cool. Playing as Chris is a fun run. So, right now we're playing Doom 2 with 2 mods. Compendium, which gives all kinds of level sets that people have put together in the early ages of Doom and modding. And next, it's like a thing called Lexicon, but I don't know if I'm going to get to that one. I might. I don't know. Overall, though, just like Resident Evil and Silent Hill, Doom has a special place in my heart. And that's mainly because it's just been around for a long time. I remember as a kid, uh, gosh, Doom came out. I was like in 5th grade, 4th grade. I was in elementary school, and I would draw maps. I never did put them together because I didn't really have the game yet. We just had the shareware version. But I'd put those maps together so that I could be like, yeah, it's my Doom level. It's gonna be awesome. It was not. But yeah. Good old Doom. Did I hit the switch? I don't think I hit the switch. Nope, there we go. It's not really a switch, it's a thing you have to walk over. Well, to save Jill, you have to distract her and then do some stupid QuickTime event. But, you know, I'll get to that eventually. I like how they put a wall down to make it look like you're in space. Now we're in space now. Get all these guys still on the spaceship. And we just killed all the enemies. So, you don't have to kill the enemies. It's just fun. That was Shuttlecraft. Yes, I know Quake. I haven't played Quake 4. But Quake 1 and 2 I definitely, and 3. I grew up with Doom and Wolfenstein and all of that. So I actually was on an IRC server. So in this mod, you get a store you can buy items from. And these items will show up randomly in the game too. But we're gonna just buy some health kits. What game like Quake? I don't know what you mean by that, man. Okay, so let me pull up this notepad thing here. There we go. Tab back. So, the first game in the Resident Evil series that came out was Resident Evil on the PlayStation 1. There's several different flavors of it. The version we played was the Director's Cut, which is different from the DualShock version, and that it had, like, I think a few extra scenes. I know nothing about that part. I just know that if you're going to play the game, stay away from the DualShock version. What game looks like Quake? There's tons. After Quake came out, they started calling those Quake clones instead of Doom clones. So you gotta be more specific, man. Like, recently, you got games like Dusk. That definitely looks like Quake. Dang. I thought someone was shooting at me, not a grenade. So, Resident Evil 1 starts out in the Arklay Mountains. And all of the information I'm giving about these games is solely off the top of my head. The only list I have of facts is just which game came in which order. And yes, I know I should probably play Resident Evil while doing this, but I'd actually have to focus a lot more than just playing Doom and shooting stuff. I have played Doom 3. I think I've beaten it, but it's been a long time. And that was Doom 3 before the BFG edition, which makes the flashlight work better. Flashlight, Anyway. So, Resident Evil Arklay Mountains. See, Arklay Mountains is outside of the city of Raccoon City. And there's been some mysterious disappearances in the Arklay Mountains. So, the police station there, or the police force in Raccoon City, has like a special group called STARS. And STARS goes out to rescue people, and like, it's like a special SWAT type of thing, I think. But they go out there. From what? This, or are you talking about Resident Evil? Because it's zombies. And I'm not there yet, man. Just setting up the story for Resident Evil, that, you know, STARS went out to go look for these people that, you know, were disappearing. Well, a day later, the STARS, well, let me correct myself. The STARS Bravo team goes out first. And then a day later, because the STARS Bravo team didn't say anything, you know, they didn't make contact or anything, the STARS Alpha team goes out. The STARS Alpha team's main people are Barry, Jill Valentine, Chris Redfield, Albert Wesker, and then whoever helicopter pilot was. It was not Mike from Resident Evil 4. So they go and do this, and they find the helicopter for Bravo team. It's crashed. There's, you know, some of the people are already dead, right? They're like, oh crap, what happened? They get attacked by undead dogs. They don't know they're undead dogs. They're just, you know, rabid dogs to them. They get attacked by them. So they make their way to safety in a mysterious mansion in the middle of nowhere in the forest of Arklay Mountains. And that's where we start. So the game has two different people you can play as, Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine. We went with Jill, I think, for the first run, because she's slightly easier, but they're both kind of on the same level. Well, what we did, we entered the foyer with Barry, Albert, and Jill. Chris is missing. And they're like, where did Chris go? They hear some gunfire. Barry goes to investigate. Jill and Albert stay in the foyer for just a little bit. Albert's like, yeah, you should go with him. Go investigate. I'm gonna go check over here. You go in there. Barry sees this pool of blood. You walk over to him. He's like, this is blood. Blah, blah, blah. You go check ahead. Hopefully it's not Chris's blood or something. And so she goes ahead, and they find another STARS member from the Bravo team with a zombie hunched over it. And its head rolls off, and then the zombie shows up. Much like how we're gonna walk into a trap by grabbing this yellow keycard. Oh no! So, what happens is that Barry and Jill meet their first zombie. They decide after dispatching the zombie to go back to Wesker to give him an update, because Wesker's like the head of STARS. Unbeknownst to them, Wesker's also part of the bad group in the series too, so they're in for a shock. But They go, he's missing, so they decide to go explore the mansion. Instead of sticking together, which would probably be the smart thing to do because zombies, right? Well, they split up. And Barry goes around. The cop from Resident Evil 2 give you that key card. Well, yeah, but we're not talking about Resident Evil 2, and this is Doom, so there are no cops. Just imps and, you know, former humans, chain gun guys, demons, Pan Elementals, Lost Souls, Cacodemons, Barons of Hell. Which I'm gonna say it because, you know, it's referring to the place. Yeah. So, anyway, so we go around the mansion. We're exploring. There's a section where you get a shotgun. As soon as you get it, the ceiling comes down in the room, like right before there. Barry just mysteriously shows up after he's like, I'm gonna check the other side of the mansion to save Jill, and makes the comment, "You were almost a Jill sandwich," which is the meme even to today. So, after nearly being a Jill sandwich, she has to get like medallions or something, and it turns out that the mansion is owned by Umbrella Corporation. They've been doing research in biological weapons, which leads to this whole thing happening. And even more, that, you know, in this pretty extensive garden that's set up by the mansion, there's a underground tunnel with like, I'd call it Indiana Jones boulders. You know, like in Raiders of the Lost Ark, a boulder chases Indiana Jones at the very beginning of the movie. It's kind of like that, only you have to dodge him. So you dodge it. I am leaving out key parts, but that's just because I forget them. Like, there's a big snake you have to fight. You can get poisoned, and that causes some fun. You have to rescue somebody who gets poisoned. He still dies, though, but at least you made an effort. So you go to the lab. You get lost, because you don't know this map. You finally get to their lab. You find out that Wesker and Barry have been working together. You actually find out that beforehand. Like I said, this is all off the top of my head, so I am definitely forgetting key parts, like the fact that you get to fight sharks, zombie sharks, or the fact that yeah, hey Oreo, how you doing? It's now hold on, I have to move my mouse over because the cat is being. Where's my mouse cursor? Art. There we go. Just playing some Doom and talking about Resident Evil. So, now we got a spell. Let's check out that spell. Oh, dang. Well, that should be fun. So, back to Resident Evil 1. At one point in time, you go to a little guard shack, and you have to get a special key. Or battery. I think it's battery. You have to get something. some key item to get into the lab or the house. I don't remember. Something important. And there's a giant plant that you have to fight or kill off. I have to kill it off with a chemical, which makes the fight with it a lot easier. I am playing Doom 2 with Guncaster and the Compendium wads, which basically just gives a lot of maps. Right now we're playing... Oh. Well. We're playing Icarus Alien Vanguard by Team TNT. Oh ho ho! Gotta watch your health though. Does that hurt us too? No. It just takes a lot of mana. Oh! We have an I smell gold thing when we're in Dragon Vision. That's funny. So, we find out that, you know, Umbrella's been doing some hinky stuff under this mansion. I don't know, man. Which version of Resident Evil are you playing, though? Because there's Resident Evil 1, the remake, which we haven't even gotten to. Look at this clever use of stairs to make it look like a ladder. So, as I was saying, hinky stuff being done underneath this house. Turns out they're making their own biological weapons. And somehow, it got loose. And they've also made this thing called a tyrant. Find out that Wesker has been blackmailing. Yeah, there's two different versions, main versions of Resident Evil. So are you playing the remake or are you playing the original? Somebody's got a grenade. Because that's a big thing there. And also, like, as I've been saying, I don't remember, man. That was back in February when I played that. I have since slept. Anyway, you could always go to GameFAQs. That's a good resource for walkthroughs on these without having to do a YouTube video. Or you could go to my YouTube channel. Yeah, you do fight a big spider, but it's not really pertinent to the story. Yes, boss fight, but you know, it's not like, man, we fought that big spider, and now Umbrella will have to pay for all the misdeeds. No, it's still, you know, we gotta find out what Umbrella's doing. Anyway. Yeah, the bee puzzle's in the remake, too. Hey, Leonard. But in the original, we still had to take care of the hornets. With the bug spray. And you get, like, a blank book, and you have to sort them. That took way too long. Now we're at the quarry. Hold on. The first boss was not a redhead zombie. Those are not bosses. And I don't even know which sound font we're using, but we're gonna do this one. Okay. So, Wesker has been working with Umbrella the entire time, but to make it worse, Wesker has not only been working with Umbrella, but for his own gains. And he's part of the reason why things are messed up, and that texture is not aligned correctly. How you doing, Leonard? I don't know that. Oh. Well, if you're talking about that, then you're playing the remake. And again, I don't remember. I remember key story parts, and if this cat doesn't keep messing with my mouse, I'm gonna have to kick him out. He's laying right in front of the keyboard. So, Wesker double crosses you. Definitely double crosses Barry. And you're kind of just like stuck with this with this fight against a tyrant. And the tyrant is like the ultimate weapon, human specimen stuff, right? But it has a flaw. It has such a big flaw, and it's the game series like doesn't address it until later. It's hearts. Oh man, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear you have a headache. I'm doing okay. I'm trying to get through the first game of what I've played. And again, this is all off the top of my head. There's no prep work except for a list that says I played this game. Nice. And that's about it. And I have a cat laying right in front of my keyboard and on top of the mouse, so mouse aim in this might be fun. I'm playing Doom 2 with 2 mods. I don't know. Richard dies, man. Like, if their name is not Barry, Albert Wesker, Claire Redfield, Rebecca not Claire Redfield, Jill Valentine, Rebecca Chambers, they're dead. Oh, and did I say Barry? Because Barry's, important. But anywho, and we could cheat and do that, but we're supposed to raise them. I think. So, as I was saying, yeah, Leon is in Resident Evil 2, which I haven't gotten to yet, man. Oh, I've played this WOD like several times. It's part of Compendium, which takes a bunch of the older level sets that people made, like the 32 level ones, and put them together. And then I have Guncaster, which makes us this like gun-wielding dragon that also has magic spells and stuff and can fly a little bit. And then the version of Guncaster I'm playing adds enemies in it that if we had regular weapons, it would really wreck us. Because I felt like, if we played it with regular enemies with this cool gun stuff, we really wreck them. Also, we have a shop. Check this out. So you can buy different stuff. Including weapon upgrades for your ammo. Okay, let's see. The problem is, maybe the menu volume is it. I don't know. Oh, you know what it is? It's MIDI. MIDI is low. I don't want it to be too loud, but... Okay. Let's get back to... wait for him to disappear. No, it's, I don't remember what they call him. It's Nithor is the name. Something like that. I don't know the lore on it, man. I just was like, give me guns. Like, you know, the Matrix. But I didn't want to play Russian Overkill, which is another one. Like, if you have Doom 2, get a source port, like GZ Doom, or Zandorm, and get Russian Overkill. I'll even show it off after a little bit, right? But tons of guns, man. And it's not serious at all. It's just, it's overkill. And sometimes you need that, you know? I think it's time to do this. Time lost. Oh, it's there. How the world to get these things up? Okay. So, Resident Evil 2. Or 3. 1. Crap. I am totally aware of what I've been talking about this entire time. You know, I didn't lose my train of thought or anything like that. Okay. So let's talk about Resident Evil 1. You play as Jill the first time, or you play as Chris. Once you go through it, you the B part, yeah. I think that's the guardhouse thing is what he's talking about. It's the bees. That's so small. It's not a very big part. It's not like you're fighting some boss that's bees. You know? But, there are bees. And you have to be aware of them. So, Wesker betrays you. You fight the tyrant. And after you fight the tyrant, the facility has to self-destruct. In the Resident Evil games, it is kind of like an unwritten rule that the thing has to explode at some point in time. I couldn't tell you why, but it must happen. Also, is there not let us switch? I don't remember this level to the point of what to do. We got like windmills. We haven't even killed everything yet. So, that's too bad. At least I think it's too loud. Let's check here. Yeah, it's not that bad. Oh wow, every time you call him, it has to restart the song. Okay. So, place is gonna explode. You get out. Fly off. Boom. That's it. At the time that it came out, there was no reference whatsoever to a sequel. Some switches in Doom have to be shot, right? So you gotta shoot them. Well, I don't remember what to do to get these dang things open. You get a duck. But this doesn't fix what we need. I have a solution, and we might just use it, I don't know. Oh, didn't spell it right. Oh, man. That's interesting. I didn't have no clip on, but whatever. So we get out of there. If you do the Chris story, you're alone, just like Joe was, but you get to deal with Rebecca Chambers, who's a rookie cop who just started. There's more to her, but I'm just bringing her up for the next game that I don't have open on the list. Here we go. Okay. Same stuff. Double crossed. Barry isn't involved because he's just in Jill's thing. There's no Jill sandwich joke. That's okay. Check this out. So anyway, as I was saying, that's Resident Evil 1. Next up, we played Resident Evil 2, where we hold on, I have to check the controls. Okay. Oh ho! I died because that thing sucks. Anyway. As I was saying, Resident Evil 2 takes place a couple months after Resident Evil 1, where we're introduced to Claire Redfield, who is Chris Redfield's sister. She's come to Raccoon City to find her brother. Well, at the same time, Leon Kennedy is starting his very first day at the precinct as a rookie cop. Unbeknownst to either of them, Raccoon City's gone to crap because there's been an outbreak of the T-virus, which was the same virus that started all the zombies in Resident Evil 1. So they meet up. It's pretty cool. Think, okay, they're gonna be buds. You just play as Claire or you play as Leon, depending on who you pick. Wrong. A fuel tanker comes and rams right into the police car that Leon's in and that Claire's in. They get separated, and they're trying to do their own things. Leon's trying to figure out what's going on. Claire's trying to find her brother. And we started as Claire in that one. We go to the Raccoon City Police Department regardless of who we are. Really? That's all that does? Wow. We find in the police department that, there's been an outbreak. Police department was a safe house whatever you want to call it, a shelter, right? But even that turned to crap. And so you get to do some puzzles. In the first campaign, as Leon or Claire, you kind of do close to the same stuff. As Claire, you eventually run into this little girl named Sherry Birkin. And it turns out that her parents are scientists. We don't know much about it from there. Later, we learn that her father is the one who has really caused all this. And has been researching a G virus, which mutates you, but apparently doesn't fully get rid of the conscience or something. Yep. So, once we meet Sherry, we do like a little thing where she runs around, tries not to get attacked. And then we get to meet the wonderful police chief, Brian Adams. I mean, no, not Brian Adams. Brian Irons. Brian Adams, I believe, is a musical artist. So, Irons has been working with Umbrella, which means that basically the whole legal system of Raccoon City is screwed because of corruption, right? But we're not going to let that get us down. And we pursue Irons, who's trying to get Sherry, because that's kind of like a bargaining chip. And Irons dies. He gets infected by Birkin, William Birkin, who is Sherry's father, like I said. We get to fight William a few times. Eventually, we go through a sewer, and we get to meet her mom, who, well, she's more dedicated to her work than her children. And yeah, I mean, she was kind of distant when we met her, right? She was more concerned about William Birkin, his safety, than the safety of Sherry. So, you go through the sewers, and there's an entrance to the lab there. You go through the lab. Well, it actually is not really a... Oh, it's one of these levels. It's not really an entrance. You actually have to go through, like, some warehouse type thing for a little bit. You go down a long elevator. It's one of those long, slow elevators where I'm pretty sure we had a boss fight with Birkin again. Oh, I forgot to mention. In the sewer, poor Sherry gets infected with the G virus. And so we have to heal her. I mean, we have to give her the vaccine. And hold on to answer something. There we go. So we go down to this lab. You get to go through the steps of putting the vaccine together and stuff. So Sherry gets healed. We get to fight Birkin again. And eventually, the lab blows up, or is going to self-destruct. And we have to escape. We escape on a train. And Leon shows up at the end. And it's like, cool, we're all together now. Thing about it is, that's not the end, right? That's just like half the story. And it was really cool when the game came out, because it was half the story. The next thing we played was Leon's scenario, but it was like the B version. Basically, this is what happened while Claire was doing her stuff. One of the big things about it is, in the police station, there's a point where you have to put out a fire for a helicopter that crashed. And after you do this mysterious hulking guy gets dropped by a container. And he's a silent guy, so there's no dialogue with him. There's not even really grunting. Turns out his name is Mr. X. That's what they called him. I don't know if that's like the official like strategy guy type of name or any of that junk, but Mr. X. And he's coming to get you. You have to evade him. You fight him later on, but you evade him right now. What happens is he's just a nuisance, right? So you do basically the same type of stuff, with the exception of instead of meeting Sherry Birkin, you meet this lady called Ada Wong. And her story that she gives us is that we're having to meet up with, I did that wrong, with her because she is looking for her boyfriend. Yep. Sadly, her boyfriend was a scientist with Umbrella. And, you know, she's trying to find him. Sounds innocent enough, right? So, you play as her for a little bit, because Leon really falls for her hard. And when I say falls for her, he literally does. Because, at one point in time, he does the, I'm gonna take a bullet for you, die. So he falls, gets shot, it's non-lethal, while he is recuperating. I guess I'll mention this guy, but he's not super important. There's this guy called Ben Bertolucci, and he's just like a reporter. He's a source for Ada, and basically what he's reporting on is there's corruption in the police department. Also, I failed to mention this earlier, but there's also Marvin Rana. It's a lot of blood. It's all fake, not real. Not any cause of concern. Right? So Marvin is Leon's direct supervisor. He's a police officer that helps Claire. He dies. But we get to see him in several games of how he dies, or him getting attacked and all that stuff. So that's pretty cool. What is this called? This is called Flipside, where everything's upside down. So, back to the story. So Ada has her own little side quest story stuff. In the sewer, you chase after. This is the original soundtrack for this WAD set. It's not the original sound set for the game. I don't know if I can get that one to play. Let's see here. This is map 5. Nope. I don't have any jukebox options either, I don't believe. Should have thought about that. Anyway, back to the lovely story. I hear something. Oh. Duh. Okay. So, it turns out that Ada isn't really looking for a boyfriend. She's working for somebody. To this day, we don't know who she's working for. She's working for somebody. It's not Wesker. She is trying to get a sample of the T virus and potentially the G virus as well. And Leon doesn't realize this. He just has goo-goo eyes for her. Or basically the entire series. And it's annoying. I don't like her. Anyway, you do her thing. You get to go to the lab. You rescue. You rescue her or something like that. You get the sample. Lab's gonna blow up, and then Mr. X shows up. Tosses Ada into this like terminal that starts the self-destruct system. You shoot Nemesis enough to land in a vat of molten iron or something. You're like, yes, he's dead. And it turns out, nah, you're wrong. So, we don't know that yet. We just know that, yeah, he's dead. That tends to be the trick. To be that self, or that lull of security of, oh yeah, we did it, right? So, everything's cool. We're like, we're gonna leave. We fight Birkin again, who's like a dog now or something. And you think that you get him, you know. You fight him again. I believe you fight him like twice. Now we fight Nemesis one more time. Or not Nemesis, I'm sorry, I'm calling him by the wrong name. Mr. X one more time. And this time a mysterious figure tosses us a rocket launcher. And we all know it's Ada, but, you know, we thought she was dead, she's not. Is she gonna come back? Who knows? But we do all that jazz. We get on the train. And as a difference here from the other, we get a boss fight at the back of the train with Birkin being like giant blob monster. Which is kind of neat, right? And after doing that, we've saved the day. Everybody's happy. And that's basically Resident Evil 2. Next up is Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, which takes place a day before, and then like 3 days after Resident Evil 2. Plays Jill Valentine, who is getting ready to leave Raccoon City while Raccoon City is in a state of turmoil. You don't get any other characters to pick from to play as, like by your own choice. You get to play as this guy named Carlos, who works for the Umbrella Special Forces, but not like the Special Forces. Oh man, I can't believe you're putting all the names. So, I don't remember. Oh, that's right. Okay. Thank you, Leonard. So you got Jill Valentine, used to be a cop. She's like suspended indefinitely. She's trying to get out. Next is Carlos, who works for UBCS, which is like the paramilitary branch of Umbrella. It's actually different than the Umbrella Special Forces. They apparently have like their own Spec Ops people, right? Yeah, it's fine. I will try to do my best to say who's who. Because, like, for Resident Evil 4, I don't remember the names, so. I need more health. Okay. Oh, we got the matriarch cannon rifle. So, that's who you got so far. You got Carlos and Jill. They're like the main characters. Then you have Dario Rosso, which you meet this guy at the very beginning, and he hides in a storage container to avoid dying. Next, Jill tries to get him to come out. He doesn't. So she moves on, and she sees Brad Vickers, who's also a member of STARS. And she follows after him. He tells her, I believe he tells her about Nemesis in the first one. I could be wrong. But he's like, yeah, you need to get out of the city, blah, blah, blah. There's a cat on my mouse. Sorry, bud. So, I do like the skybox, though. That's pretty nice. Okay, we're back on the ship. So, Brad Vickers, he gets attacked by a... no. We don't know about Nemesis. He tells us we need to get to the police station. Or something. Anyway, we go to the police station, and as we're getting to enter the police station, Nemesis shows up, who's like a beefed up version of Mr. X from Resident Evil 2. Nemesis is like, I don't know, beefy Mr. X. And he is mad and wants to kill the STARS members specifically. So, like, Umbrella, who's the cause of this whole ordeal, genetically modified a, what's it called, a tyrant, be Mr. X. And then they made a new one, or a different one, I should say, that, oh, nice. They made a different one that just hunts down, you know, specific targets, right? Which I guess for a biological weapon, that's pretty sweet, because then you could say, like, go take out so-and-so, and it'd be determined to take out so-and-so. So that's neat. Well, Nemesis kills Brad by picking him up and sticking a tentacle through his face. I believe it's his face in this one. But Brad's dead, right? We go into the police station. We see Marvin, who is not hurt yet. Because this is the day before. He eventually gets hurt, right? But, he helps Jill, which is cool. And we get the lockpick so that we can move on, so we get to the tram, which we don't even know we have to go to the tram yet, which is kind of weird, but we get the lockpick so that we can move on. And as we do this, and we use the lockpick, we see this soldier guy, like, run off after shooting some zombies, and it turns out that's Carlos. We have an interaction with Carlos. Nemesis shows up, depending on which route you go. Because this game is filled with little branches that all lead to the same thing. But it at least gives you that illusion that you have a choice. Also, the chance of zombies being in a room is random to a point, so it's kind of set up that who knows what you're gonna get. But anyway, we do this stuff. We find out we need to get on a rail system to get out. right? You like the shotgun? The shotgun's nice. It's just, you know... Gosh, this room screams being attacked. So... we go to this tram. We meet Mikhail Victor and Nikolai Yanovov. Who's Murphy Seeker? Is he one of the guys too? Quad damage, but not... Okay, whatever. That was good. So, some of these characters are just like side characters. Like Tyrell in this one is... Oh yeah, no, Murphy and Tyrell are these people who are UBCS, like the Special Forces guy that Nikolai kills. And it's kind of shady at first, but like Nikolai is a bad guy. And that thing is listed as Killer Tomato. So, as we proceed further in playing this mod... Oh, we're gonna do this. There you go. That's so bad I had to heal. As I said, like, the regular monster set, super weak, so these overpowered weapons, this monster set kind of helps with overpowered weapons. No, Tigger. No. Ow! Ow! I'm sorry, buddy. Nope. The synopsis thing is gonna have to speed up, but I'm gonna be right back. Because I'm gonna have to feed a cat. Thank you for your patience staying on hold. Here we go. So, Jill's getting chased by Nemesis this entire time. You eventually get the tram running. But not after, you know, putting some work into it. And after you do get it working, Nemesis comes and attacks. So, Mikhail, who's, like, mortally wounded and probably would change into a zombie anyway, he, like, blows up the back of the train, causing it to derail and crash into a clock tower that is sadly not in Resident Evil 3 of 2020. Which is sad, because it features some pretty neat puzzles that are not really throughout the rest of the game, right? The rest of the game is like a fetch quest, and the clock tower is more like it has a feel of the original things. So after you get the bell to ring, because Carlos tells you that that's the way that they'll signify that they need to be picked up. Um, we go and fight Nemesis once again because he screws everything's up by shooting down the helicopter. Yeah, puts a damper on our escape. He blows up the helicopter. He has a rocket launcher, and it sucks. But it's fine because we fight him. We do a good job. Jill does such a great job. Until Nemesis gets a hold of her eventually and sticks his little tentacle thing down her throat, thus infecting her with the T-virus. Then we get to play as Carlos, who goes to the local hospital to get a vaccine because apparently there's a lab at the hospital, because the whole city is owned by raccoons. Not raccoons. It's owned by Umbrella. So basically, they've got labs like everywhere. Now, not deterred by the zombies and the hunters, Carlos gets set up with this, only to find out that there's a bunch of C4 planted all over the hospital, and has to quickly escape before it explodes. The person behind this obviously is Nikolai, as he's been shady through like most of the game. Carlos escapes and gives Jill's the vaccine. He plays Jill again, which we do some other stuff. I'm not gonna do that. That would be super lame. Go that way. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So plays Jill again. You have to go through the park / cemetery, which is kind of weird because it's got a park and a cemetery like adjacent. We get to fight a cool boss called the Gravedigger, where after a while you whittle down its health enough to... I think it's you whittle its health down. It might be time related, but what happens is that the this worm shows up. You attack it. You zap it. You move on. We get to find out that Nikolai. We officially get to find out that Nikolai's a poot. And we also find out that the U.S. government has decided to nuke the whole town. Contain the G-virus. Or the T-virus. And so, in doing so, we panic. We're like, oh no, the city's gonna blow up. It's a mixed bag on it, right? Like, they coerced the government to be like, yeah, this is super bad and we need to contain it, right? But overall, it was probably Umbrella doing in the first place to get rid of all the evidence of their misdeeds. So, with this in mind, and Umbrella is just bad. We find out they're bad. We knew they were bad, but we find out they're really bad. You fight Nemesis some more. You go through another lab, but it's at like a body disposal place. Nikolai tries to get away in a helicopter. You can shoot it down or let him go. After doing this, you eventually fight Nemesis again. Right before you fight it in this room where you get to dissolve its body parts, which makes us think that, oh yes, it's in this vat of dissolving stuff. We should be safe. And we're not. Oh, that was a brick. Okay. Anyway, after doing all this stuff, you get to fight Nemesis one more time and shoot it with a giant railgun. City gets nuked, you fly off on a helicopter. Everybody's happy that lived, right? That's basically Resident Evil 3. There's probably more, like Barry showing up and rescuing you. It's not really a big deal, but, you know, it's a thing that happens. I'm trying to think. What else? I think that's it for that. I think let's move on to Survivor. Survivor, you play as this guy who's a private investigator, I believe, on Sheena Island, which turns out to be a factory for Mr. X's. And this Mr. X factory, has this guy who's been like experimenting on kids, which is terrible. And you know, that's so wrong of doing that, right? But eventually you meet up with him. It's a short game. It's the story is just okay. You meet up with him. Turns out that your character has amnesia. He thinks that he's the bad guy. He's not. That was the wrong way. And man, I'm really botching it on this, huh? Yeah, we don't even need the names, man. Like, I think we're good on the names. I think it's just we need the story, right? Like, there's kids, and that's the worst part. This Art Thompson, I think, was the bad guy, or was he the good guy? I don't know. Either way, the bad guy was experimenting on kids with all this stuff, which was terrible. Well, you go through, you fight like a different, okay, Arc's good. Vincent Goldman's the bad guy. And he's gone rogue from what Umbrella wanted him to do. Because he's trying to make all these Mr. X's, like make better versions and a better tyrant. Eventually, you go through the place. It's in first person, kind of. No, it's in first person completely. You fight different things. Oh, we got a new spell. What did that do? Oh, neat. Well, anyway. Everybody sucks. That's not the good guy. Kids are being used to experiments. We stop it. Base blows up. The end. Then we have Resident Evil Code Veronica. So, Claire, after being in Raccoon City, decides she needs to go find her brother, who said he was in Europe. So a couple months later, she's in Europe and she gets captured by Umbrella. Then she gets taken to a private island, which Umbrella clearly owns, where it's been attacked after she gets there with BOWs. And they think it's her, like the Umbrella people do, but it's not. And her, like, the head of the security forces just lets her go since it's under attack and everything. He's like, all hope is lost. We're hosed. Just go. So we go. We meet up with this other guy that's been there. And this island's really used for enemies of Umbrella. So, anybody who's done Umbrella wrong gets locked up. And one of those guys, and it's not just anyone, it's like your whole family. So it's very much like political prison that, you know, different countries have used, including some that people might feel are a good source of government, even though they're not. But I digress on that one. Like, Steve, the whole story with Steve is his dad was gonna sell secrets of Umbrella to somebody. And that's wrong. You don't do that. You don't mess with Umbrella's secrets, right? Oh, wow. So, you know, Umbrella's like, we're gonna take you and your whole family, and, you know, you get to live here now. But, you go, you meet Steve, you both have the goal to escape, so you start to escape, and you find out that not only is it a prison, that is not the fun I wanted to crush. Oops. There we go. I forgot I have night vision. Who's shooting at me? Hey Smurfy, how you doing? I am doing great. I'm playing Doom and trying to remember these Resident Evil games. It's kind of hard. Kind of not hard. I mean, it's a mixed bag. So, find out that the island has a training facility, and it's ran by Alfred Ashford, who's one of his. He's not the founding fathers of it, but his father founded Umbrella with two other guys, James Marcus and something Spencer, right? So, anyway, turns out they're bad. They suck. This Alfred Ashford thinks that he's a great leader, and he's gonna bring forth a change to Umbrella. Well, it turns out that they're not, like, on the best of terms with Umbrella, because they haven't done anything productive. His sister, Alexia Ashford, is under ice. And, well, there's reasons for that. But anyway, let's move on here. So, Alfred is kind of weird. Shoots at you. You're trying to just get off this island. You have to get, like, these little medallion things, which, lo and behold, you have to go to Alfred's room. Find out that Alfred's sister is also talking to him. And then we get to find out that it's not Alfred's sister. It's actually Alfred talking to himself. I don't have enough gold to buy this. There we go. So, we deal with Alfred for a little bit. I forgot I had this gun. Oh, we're gonna fire that off soon. As we leave the island, Alfred releases a tyrant. And this tyrant is much like the other ones. They're big old hulking bad guys. Oh yeah. That should wreck them, right? It didn't. Oh, there we go. That is one giant BFG shot. You know what? There we go. Okay. So, Tyrant comes after us. We get on a plane. The Tyrant gets on the plane with us. And we get to use the cargo bay and, like, jettison him out. And it's really cool. And Alfred's been following us. He enacts the autopilot. So we're kind of stuck and having to go to Antarctica, where the other base is at, like this other lab that they've had. So we go there. We're trying to escape there by drilling out. When we drill out, Alfred shows up, takes a really bad fall, and basically that's it for him. So what he does, oops, we can't do that. That's not cool. Can we go this way? We cannot. Okay. So, here's the baby. Man, if it was a snake, it would have bit us. Yeah, that's the thing. Steve can pilot a plane. He's like 17 and he can fly a plane. Oh. Probably because he played Call of Duty or something, right? Or no, Medal of Honor. Call of Duty was still in its infancy then. Okay, so. And Battlefield I think was out at that time. Anyway. We go to Antarctica. Alfred gets hurt. He awakens his sister. Okay, Smurfy. You're not missing anything. You're just me trying to remember these games. So he awakens his sister. Her sister has like a tentacle attack. Wrecks the snowmobile that we're riding, whatever it is. So we get out as Claire and Steve and get to fight Alfred's dad, who is infected with a new version of the T-virus, the T. Veronica virus. We fight him, and we still get captured at some point in time. And then we get to play as Chris, which is pretty neat. Playing as Chris Redfield. This entire time we've, wanted to beat Chris again. So we're Chris. We come to the main island. We find out that it's, self-destructed, as is most places in this series. And after doing that, and trying to find out what happens, we track the plane to Antarctica, only to find the place is frozen over since the drilling. That's it, I'm doing this. Oh, I don't know what I just pressed, but, we got 2 guns. Nice. Oh, that's dangerous. We're gonna do it, though. I don't know how you can reload those things, but, whatever. Okay. So, Chris goes to the base in Antarctica, and eventually finds out that Claire's in some sort of cocoon thing. Surprisingly, this isn't even Brutal Doom, this is just Guncaster. What's this? Oh, we're kind of invisible. So, Chris gets Claire out, and he gets to meet Alexia Ashford, who has been in stasis for like 15 years after I'm about to say injecting T. Veronica virus. So she's had all this time to like fight it and everything. And she gets like rock skin and blood magic. So we get to fight her. We get to find out that Albert Wesker is the one that attacked the island. Because he's wanting the T. Veronica virus. It's just happenstance that, you know, Chris is there, but once he finds out that Chris is there, he gets super mad. And they kind of have a bout going on. Where are we at? Oh, the bridge. Well, this looks more like a mess hall and a wreck. And so we have to get away from Alexia. We rescue Jill, or not Jill, Claire. And after doing all this stuff, we have to fight her. She becomes this big weird insect thing because this virus, like the source of the virus, is from ants, right? So you fight her. Base is gonna blow up. You gotta fight her. You gotta leave. And the last thing is you shoot her with like some rail driver thing. Then we get to see Wesker. Yeah, and we don't actually get to fight him, it's all a cutscene. Right before that, Claire and Steve kind of have a moment. Steve got captured as well as Claire, and Steve was injected with the virus, so he's gonna die. But before he does, he turns into like some hulking green Battletoad looking thing. Well, during the cutscene with the guy, Wesker, he tells Chris that, you know, we've got Steve's body, so they're trying to push the whole, you know, that's how we're gonna get a sample of T. Veronica virus. We never see Steve again, so it's assumed that he's out. But it would be pretty cool if he came back. But overall, that's basically Code Veronica. The next one is Code Veronica as Resident Evil Survivor 2 Code Veronica. And that's an arcade game. And the story is, it's like a dream or something. You get to go back through the island of Resident Evil Code Veronica. And yeah, not too much to write on that one. Next, we had Resident Evil Remake, which was basically Resident Evil 1 with some extra areas. It introduced Crimson Head zombies, which, if you don't burn the body, then that's it. They'll come back. After that was Resident Evil 0. You play as Rebecca Chambers, and you meet Steve Cohen. It's Rebecca's, like, first assignment, and it takes place the day before Resident Evil 1 did. She gets involved in this whole mess. Turns out that the T-Virus getting out was all because of James Marcus being betrayed by Wesker and Birkin. And so you get to deal with that kind of junk. Oh, that was bad. That was a bad idea. You know, I'm kind of tired of this, but no, let's do a different mod. In just a few seconds, let's change this up. Okay, so you play as Rebecca. You meet this James Cohen guy, who doesn't show up anymore after that game, but you get to find out that, man, Umbrella's been in this business of trying to do viruses and stuff for quite some time. And you go to a training facility that basically grooms people to be perfect little Umbrella, drones. Right. So it's interesting. So now we're gonna play. Oh, that was wrong. I screwed that up. Yeah, discard report. Go after it. Oh, I picked the wrong mod. No duh. So this is HXRTC and the Sentinel's Lexicon. The Sentinel Lexicon is also a compendium type of thing. We got a ton of maps. I'm not gonna play on something higher than Let's Take It Easy, okay? Because this is a slaughter map type of thing, even on normal sets. So we've got Original Doom, Ancient Aliens, Alien Vendetta, Back to Saturn, Circle of Kynia. I don't know. Claustrophobia 1 and 2, Congestion 1024, Community Chests 1 through 4, Chainworm, Doom Core Trilogy, Doom 2 the way ID did, or id did, Doom 2 Redux, Dark Encounters, Estranged, Epic, Epic 2, Forest Swords, Going Down, Hell Revealed 2, Adiphobia, Hellbound, Hellcore, Interception, Kama Sutra, Chorus, Speedy Poop, Monuments of Mars, Maps of Chaos, Mayhem 17, Nova, Shaitan's Luck, Speed of Doom, Scythe 2, Sunlust, Stardate 20x6, Stardate 20x7, Swim with the Whales, 1994 Tune-Up Project, UAC Ultra, Unholy Realms, Vanguard, Valiant, Whispers of Satan, Zone 300, and Zones of Fear. I think we're gonna go with Valiant. That's a interesting one. Anyway, Resident Evil 0. Again, you go to a lab. Lab's gonna blow up. The monsters in that, you got zombies, but you also got these leech things because apparently that's part of why we have the T-virus. Which, but the interesting thing is, after the boss fight, basically Rebecca would be a walking arsenal. She goes to art. The cool thing is, the ending, as she's leaving this facility, the mansion from the first game is in view. And she even makes a radio call saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to the mansion to meet up with you." Well, what happened to her guns? And as Leonard pointed out, she loses her memory too of all the stuff that happened. So it's interesting. Zero is a fun game. If you were ever gonna play Resident Evil, I would suggest play the remake and play Zero. You can play the original Resident Evil if you want to, but the newer one gets the job done too. Next up after Resident Evil 0 is Resident Evil Dead Aim, where we play as this guy. It's like a spy. He's on a ship. Final boss fight of 0 was pretty cool, even though the mechanic was you need to fight it while Steve opens up shutters because it doesn't like sunlight. So, it's pretty cool. These are all worth playing. Just probably not all in a row because that's a lot of Resident Evil. Dead Aim, you're on a boat. And of course, Umbrella's involved. They're researching BOWs. Yeah, you play as Bruce McGivern. And he's like a... I don't know what he is. I think he's supposed to be a US agent. Like, by this point, I think Umbrella has been investigated, but I could be wrong. Ah, man. The thing that sucks about this is you don't start out with decent weapons. Crap. And the enemies, like, their attributes are random. But we get experience points for killing stuff, so... Kind of gives you, like, an RPG type of thing. And this gun has infinite ammo, so... Oh, nice. Shoot some more bad guys. So, Morpheus D. Duval is the bad guy. He is very vain. Likes pretty things. After a while, turns out, yep, there's a T-virus about. And this form has like electric abilities. Right? So Electric Tyrant shows up. And it has a feminine form. Fong Ling is a Chinese spy who is also trying to check out the virus. The fun thing about the Tyrant and Dead Aim, and the game is something you can play in like one setting. It is 3 hours long. The Tyrant has electrical abilities, has a feminine form with jiggle physics, and natural high heels. That's right. After he turns into the monster, he has natural high heels. In fact, go to my YouTube channel, you can definitely find it. But it's there. Like, I'm not making it up. Oh, nice. So Megasphere in Doom gives you 200 armor and 200 health, but in this gives you more because we're playing HXRCT or whatever it is. Okay, so you fight him, you get off the boat, you go to a research facility. Turns out that the Chinese government doesn't really care for Fong Ling failing in a mission, and so they deploy like a death beam satellite, which is the coolest thing ever. And she has like this tattoo on her arm that is a tracking device, so she gets it forcibly removed by Bruce. You go further into here, Morpheus wants to send off these things, and apparently with this T-virus, he also keeps some of his conscience, so, like, he still has the drive to make the world beautiful, or whatever his cliche ambition is. You obviously go stop him, and the missiles and everything. Oh my gosh! It's a raid! Welcome everybody from Axinia's channel. Tonight I'm doing something a little bit different. I am playing Doom while talking about the basic stories as best as I can of Resident Evil. So welcome everybody. How was Goose Goose Duck? Was it fun? Thank you, Axinia, for the raid. I really appreciate it. And I hope you're having a great day. What on earth is this? Oh, nice. Okay, so in Dead Aim, you play in first person. It's kind of arcadey. It probably works better with the gun con, but I don't have a gun con, so. Take that. And last one's here. Nice. How's it going, last one? And oh. And everybody else. Don't be shy. I mean, I appreciate the lurkers. I will not call you out. You lurk away all you want. Dead Aim was nice. I'm glad I got to play it. Next up is Resident Evil Outbreak, where you play as just regular people during the events of Resident Evil 2, and you try to survive in different scenarios. I'm not going to go over every scenario, but it is a very fun game to play, and it's nice that it's, you know, it's a co-op game. It's pretty cool. The problem is, I did not play in co-op, so I had to play it on easy, as I feel like it's not completely balanced. But it was good. Some notable moments: you go to a university, you get to zap a tyrant to get a blood sample. You can accidentally zap your friends. That's kind of funny. We're gonna save. There we go. Oh, I found a secret. Nice. So this is HX RTC Doom. Welcome back, Oreo. Aren't you? Have you been here this entire time? I don't know. I've been rambling, so. Doom. And also Resident Evil stuff. And I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to. I don't know if we'll make it, but I'm gonna try. Tomorrow marks the 1-year anniversary of me starting to do this seriously instead of just like streaming every once in a while. And it's also the 8th. And we're gonna play the 8th Resident Evil game. So if it was 2008, oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate that. I appreciate all you. I really do. There's a chance I might hit affiliate too tonight, so. Tomorrow, Resident Evil 8. I don't usually stream on Sundays, but since it marks a year of me doing this, I figured that's at least something I can do as a special. After Outbreak, which, man, that game is pretty neat, because is that guy shooting through walls? You get to do different paths, and so in co-op you could like split off different locations in the map to get key items, and when you play in single player, like, the AI still does it. It's just dumb. Anyway, after that game, we had Resident Evil 4, which is a great game. You play as Leon and you go into a remote village. Thank you, last one. I appreciate your vote of confidence there. I was at like 2.78 average viewers, and so it's saying like 2.89 average viewers. So I think it said like 2.9. So we're almost there. Nice. No rush. We probably have to rush. Resident Evil 4, Leon goes to save the president's daughter. But it gets sticky. It's a sticky situation. Because this group has a new form of biological weapon. It's a parasite. And this parasite allows them to kind of have like a hive mind control type of thing. So the villagers are all messed up and trying to kill him. We meet this guy named Luis, who was a researcher. Also turns out to be a contact of Ada Wong, but we don't get to find it out until later. And it's a great game. They're gonna remake it apparently. Hopefully the remake won't be bad. You go through the village first, and you have to fight the village chief, who turns into like a giant centipede. After that, dang it. At least it teleported away somewhere. Nope, it's there. Yeah, I don't have a followed age type of thing set up. I can tell you though. Since 2018. So I've streamed in the past, like every once in a while. I didn't have an ambition to do it. I do now. I want to beat games I haven't played, which is good motivation to play them. But I also want my kids to be able to watch it and be like, yeah, it's my dad playing games, and them get to see some of the older games that I have. Obviously, Resident Evil is not a game that I'd show them right now. Oh nice, we got a map. Okay. So Resident Evil 4, you go to a castle after the village, and it's ran by this little short 2-year-old, I think. Guy that looks like he is jaundiced, so he's weird looking. You fight against him and his little lackeys. Oh, that was a mistake. And then you go to an island where a base is set up, and also a research facility. And you fight against, guess what? More bad guys that are infected with this plague. 43 months and 3 days. Wow. I believe you're like one of my first followers. So, as it goes, you know, you get infected or something. The president's daughter gets infected. It probably has a cooldown. Or it's elevated command, maybe? I don't know. Oh, crap. Yeah. I think... maybe it's a cooldown? I don't know. I can't check Nightbot right now. Oh gosh. Nope. Yeah, how hard it is to see the screen when it's red. So, you get infected, you eventually remove the parasite, which is great. And then, wow, it's been 18 days? Wow. I thought it's been longer. Yeah. You get to fight against, like, the head of this group that more than likely has ties into Umbrella, right? and oh crap. Do I have any more? I don't. I've not been paying attention to my health at all. So you fight him. He turns into like a giant, weird spider-looking thing, I think. And it's a cool game. I cannot stress how fun it was, especially playing on the Wii with the Wiimote to aim. It's a great game. You should, if you can, try to play it. Next up. Oh, that was cool. We got Outbreak File 2, which basically is you play as the same group from the first Outbreak game in more scenarios trying to escape Raccoon City during the infection. Oh my gosh, another raid! Welcome to the channel, everybody! Let's give Vaughn a shout out. Vaughn was playing Ascent, which is, I believe, a twin-stick shooter that just came out. How was Ascent, and how are you doing? Hi, Duranium. Ascent is available on the Xbox. It's also available on Game Pass and Steam. It's got a cyberpunk aesthetic, and I haven't installed it yet, because I've been playing Resident Evil. But not today, I'm playing Doom. I am doing just fine. I am trying to recap Doom. I'm not Doom, Resident Evil while playing Doom. We're up to, oh crap, where's my thing? Yeah, I appreciate it, Smurfy. Being part of 2 raids, right? Not 2 raids. You were here before, and then you were in that raid. And I thank you for your time, man. So, Outbreak File 2 is also pretty cool. I hope that they get to re-release it or something. My favorite portion of the Umbrella stuff and Resident Evil stuff is the Umbrella stuff. I have no clue what that did, but whatever. Okay. After Umbrella, or Outbreak File 2, the next game was Xenia-rated me. The next game is Umbrella Chronicles, where I believe that's the one that Albert Wesker recaps the events of Resident Evil 1 and stuff. It's a shooter. I mean, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong. It's really fun, but story-wise, it basically recaps the story from the other games. Then we got to Resident Evil 5, where we play as Chris Redfield, and we have a co-op partner named Sheva. That game, there's the door I was looking for. That game's okay. They went with more action with that. I can't believe I just got the pistol. Oh, nice. Crap. So, with the nice 2-person shout out. Thank you, last one, for adding that. Oh, my armor's been helping me. That is awesome. Resident Evil 5, you go to a town called or a region called Kaijuju in Africa. And that's because that's where Albert Wesker decided to go to give people a new version of the plague, or the parasite, I mean. way the game goes, it's linear. You don't have the puzzles, you don't have like the double backing places. Oh crap. And it's just, it's okay. It's action. It's all action. It's not fun to, you know, if you're really wanting a scary game, you're not going to find it in Resident Evil 5. Well, and it had sequences. I mean, 4 had it. Resident Evil 3, the new one, had it too. They have these things where it's like you're stuck in a room and you have to, you know, shoot things enough to beat them. And if you don't, then, well, you die. You don't even get to the title screen of the game until you get past one of those sequences of stuck in a room. And it's annoying. It doesn't really add to the experience of this is a Resident Evil survival horror game when you kind of feel like you have to shoot everything that moves. Speaking of shooting everything that moves, I've killed every monster in the map. Thank goodness. Oh crap. Moving on from Resident Evil 5, where Resident Evil 5 actually has some key moments. We learn that the T-virus came from a flower in Africa. We learn that there's this guy that's been working for Umbrella for decades. And at the end, he realizes that he wasted his whole life. And that's cool. Three shout-outs. I'm gonna grab all that stuff right now. We've just probably annoyed everything, but... What world is that? Oh, crap. We're gonna die. Was that guy on a Segway? Wow. A Segway bad guy. Anyway. 5 had that. Kill the Caco demon there. 5 had, people getting butthurt. Oh, a cat sees about 6 times better than a human at night, and needs 1/6 the amount of light that a human does. It has a layer of extra reflecting cells which absorb light. Oh, crap. So the problem with, like, these mods that randomize monsters and stuff is you don't know what you're gonna get. Oh yeah, I have a border collie. He barks at, like, everything. Oh, that's cool. In 5, it's a lot of action. The story is cool. You get to punch a boulder. Wesker is the main bad guy. Sadly, he dies at the end, which sucks. Fun. I just died. Is there an autosave? Oh, good, there is. Oh my gosh, Kaz coming in with a raid. Everybody, please give Kazu some love. How is it going, Kaz? It's been a while. Playing PSO2. Nice. How did that go? Welcome, Malvodian. Welcome to the stream, everybody. I am Corbersane. I play a variety of games, with the main focus being games I haven't beaten. Tonight's a special night. I've played through almost all of the Resident Evil games. And I'm taking a little break before I start Resident Evil 8. By playing Doom and kind of giving like a synopsis of the games to the best of my ability while trying to not die in this game. And I'm also coming up to a year of actually trying to stream rather than just occasionally do it. So thank you very much for coming. Oh, yeah, that's right. They did put that out. That is something I need to check out. Yeah, this is a modded version of Doom. Yeah, that's, is that new class part of... Crap. Is that part of, Genesis? Oh, you guys suck. Okay, grab this. Run out. Run away. Just take pot shots and things. Wow. I guess we are. It's pretty cool. Thank you, everybody. So, this is a HXRTC project for Doom, and also the Sentinel Lexicon. This is Doom 2 as the base. It could be. I mean, if I have that average high enough, it should bump me up. That dude's riding a Segway. That's hilarious. So I usually try to play games I haven't beaten. I have not beaten this WAD set yet, but we're so close to beating Resident Evil the series that it would be great if tomorrow I can apply for affiliate. Be like, for the year anniversary, congratulations, affiliate, you know? Oh crap, that guy sucks. Okay, is he shooting stars? Dang. Where were we? Oh, that's okay. Oh, I really appreciate you stopping by. I hope you have a nice nice rest there and a great Sunday. That thing is beefy. Resident Evil 5 was okay. Let me get the document back up here with all the games. Next up after Resident Evil 5 was Darkside Chronicles. Now that was a rail shooter for a Resident Evil game, and it actually had its own little story. You played as Leon, and you had to, who is shooting at me? I've lost my train of thought. There we go. Ah, there he is. You play as Leon, and you get to meet Krauser for the first time, who was a bad guy from Resident Evil 4 that was a pain in the butt to fight. You go to some town in South America, I believe. I believe it's South America. And they have an outbreak. And while you're there, Leon also retells the stories of Resident Evil 2 and Code Veronica. And it's pretty good for a rail shooter. I mean, it's no House of the Dead, but it's fun. Save. I like the little angel thing. That is funny. Oh no. Yeah, let's pick up. Oh, a hazmat suit. That's fantastic. So, in Resident Evil, Darkside Chronicles, I played it on the Wii. You could play it on the PS3, I think maybe the Xbox, but you know, you don't get those cool aiming mechanics that you get with the other. So, I bet if you play with the mouse, it'd be fun. After fun jaunt in Resident Evil Darkside Chronicles, I played Revelations, which was it wasn't really episodic, but they kind of made it like it was an episodic Doom thing. And it was pretty good. Nice. You're on a ship for most of it, and it turns out that it's a Umbrella sponsored ship that does virus research. And they come up with this virus that can transmit through the water, which is terrible. Much like the terribleness that having all these guys show up as. My goodness. Yeah, forget this. So, you're on the ship as Jill Valentine, and you have to escape. You're actually looking for Chris, and it turns out that Chris isn't even there. Like a couple years back, there's a bioterror event on a man-made city that floats out in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea called Terra Grigia. And this group called the FBC, which is like something about bioterrorism, they set up the whole thing so that they can show that they're needed. And they zap, using like a solar-powered death ray thing, they zap this entire city. Well, in Revelations, it's this guy who's like, yeah, I knew that you guys were doing this. He sets up this whole thing that's saying the terrorists are back from the Terra Grigia thing. And at the same time, it reveals that the Federal Bioterrorism Commission has been doing research on... Oh, crap. Yeah, that's what I thought. As I say, doing research on bioweapons. So... you get to deal with that on a boat. You get, like, chapters in the game. And the chapter thing's pretty cool. I think it's really funny they do this, like, previously on Resident Evil Revelations between each chapter. So it's like it's a TV show almost, right? It's a great game. I am missing probably some of the story. Is that a quad barrel shotgun? Nice. So, why am I blinking? So Revelations was pretty cool. They had this thing called Raid Mode, which is different from their Mercenaries mode, which is just, you know, an all-out shoot bad guys. Where they kind of made it like an RPG, where you had experience points and stuff. Which is also very fun. Next up, after Revelations, we went with Operation Raccoon City, which... do not buy that game. It is not worth it. It's a third-person action game set in Raccoon City during the whole thing. You play as the special forces of of Umbrella, trying to get a sample and then doing these other missions, including trying to kill Leon. but you just don't. You don't kill them. You can, but that's not canon. The game is a co-op game. It is not balanced for single-player mode. There are ways to fix it, though, but still. Don't waste your time on that. It's cool. Well, the idea is cool, right? Because you're like, you know, sometimes you want to just shoot a bunch of zombies. Okay, so it's got its moments, but it's so actiony. They throw a bunch of hunters and lickers at you, and lickers are the things that are very tonguey. The hunters are like giant hulking lizard things to shoot, but they go whole hog with it. And that's annoying. It's really annoying when they just go all out with, hey, you're gonna fight these things. I have no clue what this does, but we're gonna try it. Oh wait, let's save. Oh, I got an attack dog. Go, dog. Crap. So it's okay if you're gonna buy it when it's on a Steam sale. Don't buy it the other time. There are almost 5 million dog bites per year. Children are the main victims. Dog bites cause losses of over $1 billion a year. I'm pretty sure that's US dollars. Yeah, and they're blind. And in some games, they actually have it where it works, where they're blind and they won't attack you if you don't run or shoot. In other games, it's like, nope, you just get attacked by them. And that's what Raccoon City does. Operation Raccoon City does. Next, we have the Michael Bay of Resident Evil games. Resident Evil 6, which is super ambitious. They try to include tons of stuff. And yet, I don't know. Like, it's action. It's all action. It is so much action. So much stuff packed in. They tried to appease different fans, I guess, like type of fans, by trying to have different genres. No, that's 5, and that's at the end. You punch a boulder to move it to rescue your partner. And then you fight Wesker for the last time, which is sad, because Wesker could have been a staple to the series. Oh, nice. Oh, we shoot like that, okay. It's hilarious. Like, I like the boulder punching thing. That was funny. And the story was okay. Not only did you have the whole plague virus, the parasite thing, but you had there was this philanthropist. There was this NGO that was like, we help people recover from bioterrorism. Try to make the world a better place. And it turns out they're the bad guys. And they were doing research to make more viruses and stuff. And parasites and all that jazz. Dang it. At least we got that, right? Um, so, next up, in the... I'm partially remembering these correctly. Michael Bay version of this series. 6. If you play 6 and you cheat in the game to play it, more power to you. It's okay if you cheat. Really. I mean, you're not doing yourself a disservice as you some way find out how to get unlimited ammo and everything, because it is nothing but shoot. I don't have enough for extra health. So I got this. I got bug spray. 6 has its moments, though. Like, the story for 6 was pretty cool. It's about... This guy makes a clone of Ada, somehow. I'm trying not to spoil it, but at the same time... Like, too much spoil, I should say. It's just... It's weird. It's definitely... You could watch a Let's Play of it, and you'd be fine. In fact, you could check out my YouTube channel. And, you know, watch that. Oh, yeah, but it's in the title, man. Like, this is a synopsis. I'm trying to do this off the top of my head. We have 4 games left. The next one is Resident Evil Revelations 2, which surprisingly doesn't have too much to deal with the first game at first. You're like, okay, you're Claire again. You get kidnapped, put on some island. And you gotta escape. You also have a co-op partner. And that co-op partner is Barry's daughter. Of all people. She doesn't like guns, so she does not have a gun. And you go through the first chapter in the game. Well, thanks, Vaughn, for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the raid. You have a nice Sunday. And, you know, a nice rest. Oh, these things are like the brains from Duke Nukem. Not very strong. Okay, so you go through the first chapter in the first episode, because it's episodic. Good night, Axe. Thanks for the raid, and you have a nice night. I really appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me, and the motivation to do this too, as well as Smurfy and Geranium, all of you. I really appreciate it. Okay. So the thing in Revelations 2 is you like have a wristband that tracks if you're getting you know, fear or not. What on earth is that? I don't know what that is. That looks weird. Oh, we're gonna die. I think after this I'll select a new map. Oh. Unable to teleport dead bodies. Okay. So that was just a normal map set. There's also, in the Doom community, before I talk more about Revelations 2, these map sets, they're called WADs, because the file is a WAD file. And it's just a wad of files. It's like a zip file, but it's its own proprietary thing. Slaughter maps are just that, a slaughter. Tons of enemies, craziness. We've got a few. We're gonna do... I'm not gonna do that one, that one's mean. Let's do Swift Death. That sounds fun. Revelations 2, you're on this island, you got these Fitbit deer trackers. Look at that, there's a Black Panther right there. Slaughter maps are kind of like the Dark Souls of Doom mods. Some of them, you're set up where you don't have any ammo at all. And you have to fight a cyber demon to get out. And cyber demons are kind of like a boss critter. Oh, that thing has the shield. Okay. So in the first chapter, you go to a radio tower, and you send out a message saying, hey, we're on this place, can you come and save us? And it turns out that your second chapter, when you play as Barry, is 6 months later. So what they do is you'll play one side, and that's, 6 months in the past, and you go to, like, present time. It's Barry trying to find his daughter Moira and Claire. And he runs into a little girl who has some power to be able to see these infected people. Overall, it's pretty cool. I don't really want to spoil the story, not because I don't remember it, because I totally remember. Bad stuff happens. It's this Russian island. Oh, you can jump. Nice. And, with all those bad things happening... Wait. Can I not always jump? Huh. Interesting. There's only certain spots where you can jump. So, it's cool. It's got its moments that are kind of annoying, but some of the moments are really nice. I had a great time playing that game. There we go. After Resident Evil Revelations 2, we got to play Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, which takes place in 2017, which is like the furthest in the timeline. Oh, we got a shield. And you play as Ethan Winters, whose wife disappeared 3 years ago, in 2014. He gets a video message. Yes, gross mold everywhere. He gets a video message saying, hey, come and see me. And come to this address. He goes out there. It's in the bayou of Louisiana. He meets her. She, I didn't send the message. And then, all this crazy stuff happens. I forgot this is a slaughter map. Oh my gosh. I don't want that. I definitely don't want that. Yeah, we're gonna die. So, we go there. We meet her. She's like, I didn't send that message. And then you try to escape. She goes crazy and attacks you. You have to attack her with the axe. You think you get her, which is sad because you're like, oh crap, I just killed the person he was looking for. It turns out she's not dead. She's mad. Just did that to her. And to make up for it, she totally wrecks you with a chainsaw, including cutting off your hand. Cutting off your hand's kind of a big point because you get it magic backed on to your arm and stapled on, which is kind of weird, but it's also kind of cool. And you get to meet the family of these people who are infected. And they're weird. They're crazy, right? The father cuts off his son's arm like it's nothing, and then later on the son has his arm again. So something's going on, right? Just the whole your hand thing is crazy. There's like medicine in this game that you get your leg cut off and you can reattach your leg and just pour this medicine on there and bingo bongo, you're back to normal. It's like even more so weirder than the green herbs and red herbs and all that, right? But you learn as you play the game that there's some sort of mold stuff that's creating these weird creatures and took over the family. And the only person in the family that's kind of sane is this girl named Zoe who calls you up on the phone, which is also fun. Oh, let's play something else. Let's play a different one. So you do what Zoe tells you, and you try to escape. The father shows up, tries to get you. You escape from him and meet up with this cop that's outside of the house speaking to you through a window. And instead of giving you a gun or being like, yeah, let's get you out of here, he's like, I don't know you. And, there's been a lot of crazy stories going on. So you go to the garage, which is open, and we'll talk. But here's this knife. Have a nice night, Smurfy. Thank you very much for your support and coming by. We got 17 more minutes, and I've got 3 games to go through. We're gonna play Death Dichotomy. And I'm playing on I'm Too Young to Die because I don't have any mods or anything. I just want to look at how pretty this is, and I'm gonna put God mode on and just give myself all the ammo. Because look how nice this looks. This is a Doom mod. This is, this looks amazing. Given, how much, how old Doom is and the engine that it runs in. So we're going to do this first map, I guess. I'm trapped. I'm so dead. I'm not reading the flavor text, though. So in 7, Zoe tells you to get out. And... oh. Okay. Basically, you're stuck. You gotta escape. There's this neat mechanic in the game where you get VHS tapes and you can watch these VHS tapes. And what you do in the VHS tape can affect the present time, which is pretty neat. With this mold stuff, It's all because of this biological weapon that's actually a little girl. And she had a caretaker, which turns out to be Mia. It's a trap, isn't it? Yep. Again, I have God mode on. I don't care. I just want to see how nice this looks. And sometimes in these, you can't do no monsters because they're tied to, like, events. Oh, that sucks. What? That was pretty neat. So we're trapped. Interesting. Speaking of trapped, um, one of the VHS tapes, you're trapped, and you have to light a birthday cake. And you gotta jump through several hoops. And the point of doing it is so that when you play as Ethan, you know the solution beforehand. Otherwise, you'll just die like the guy did. I don't want to do that. I want to shoot all these things. So you have to really pay attention to some of the puzzles. And this game actually has puzzles, unlike 6, which only had some as Ada. And it's all in first person, which really works for the game. And the sound design's pretty good too in it. That's creepy. So we find out that Mia was the caretaker of that little girl. We find out that eventually Zoe and Mia get captured by Zoe's brother Lucas, who is a psychopath. I mean, there's no sugarcoating it. That guy is very unsettling. And apparently he's been trying to talk to this group called the Connections. And I don't know if we'll find out more about it, but they're the ones that bankrolled the whole virus girl thing. And Mia apparently worked for them. I don't know if Ethan knows that Mia worked for them. But we'll find out, I guess, right? Eventually you get rescued and stuff. You have a boss fight that's kind of uneventful, but still kind of fun. Oh, we're underwater. Nice. The puzzles are very cool. I'm trying not to really divulge too much on that one because it's pretty recent and it's quite an experience. I mean, you can either watch my VODs or just read the thing on Wikipedia, but it doesn't do it justice. I don't really think any of these games reading, like, the synopsis really does the justice of the journey that you have to take. But it's interesting. You actually get to play as Mia for part of it, while Ethan is encased in the mold stuff, right? And they actually call it molded, and it looks like really bad black mold. And since the graphics are where they are nowadays, I hate to say it, but it looks really good for being so gross, right? Oh, that was weird. This is a very creepy looking map, but also really cool. And you can't even jump in this, which is nice. See, original Doom, you can't jump. The source port, which is called GZ Doom or GZ Doom, you can jump, but some maps restrict it, and this definitely restricted the jumping. Kind of, I think. I mean, I pressed the jump button when we were underwater. That's the first time we've seen underwater like that. The Doom community is really awesome. It's a very diverse group of people, and they have existed since the game came out. As people figured out how to make maps and stuff, and as the years have progressed, more and more content has come out. If given the choice of, you had to play one game for the rest of your life, I'd probably pick Doom, as long as I could get, you know, custom maps that people have made. Because there's a lot, and they're innovative. There's even maps of like Konami type style, where you can only carry 3 weapons, and it's like spread shot, homing missile, and um, if you get shot once, you're dead. Now, clearly, I'm cheating, and I don't. No, I don't really play this game as, yeah, I beat this level and I, got all this stuff. I play this because it's a nice break every once in a while to just shoot the crap out of bad guys. Now, earlier I didn't cheat. I probably could have showcased all the weapons, but just overall, it's fun, and I'd say it's kind of therapeutic to a point. The game got a bad rap in the 90s because of the media was against violent games, and they picked Mortal Kombat and Doom as the main thing. Doom is one of my palate cleansers. So this is kind of as a palate cleanse from Resident Evil 3. But first, before I talk about Resident Evil 3, um, 7 is a great game. There's DLC for it. They continue the story. You get to punch the molded, which is awesome. Um, but I'm not going to go too much into that one. So what do we do now? We can't jump. I mean, I can jump like this, right? But not. Man. Resident Evil 2 Remake, which came out in 2019, uses the same engine as Resident Evil 7, but it's in third person. It is very well done. It retells the story of Resident Evil 2. And if you were like, hey, I want to play it, but I really don't want to do the PS1 game, you could probably get away with playing Resident Evil 2 and still get the same gist of everything that's happened. You still get a section where you play as Sherry, but instead of just being at the police station, you're at an orphanage. And the Ada Wong thing actually adds a cool little hacking thing that you get to do, which was pretty fun. Oh, we can't get up there anyway. It's blocked. Well, what the heck? Uh, okay, so Resident Evil 2, great job. They even added some DLC, which it's free, but it's just extra DLC where you can play as some other survivors. They even took a bonus unlock of playing as Hunk, who's one of the special forces, and tofu. Like, if you beat the game a certain way, you unlock this mode where you're a block of tofu. You have to attack stuff. Man, I don't know what to do. We can't get up there. Did I break it by having God mode on? That would suck. Okay, well, let's go check another section out. Actually, there's one last one we'll do for just a little bit. If I figure out which one it is. This one, I think. Oh, yeah. Bastion of Chaos. I'm also going to have God mode on this one, and you'll see why in a little bit. And I'm probably not going to get through this map just because of how freaking huge it is. It looks really nice. Really, really nice. And the guy who made this is actually making their own game using G-Doom, or GZ Doom, as the base. And it's a total, full, different, not Doom game. In the top of the screen, you'll see there's a monster count. I'll have to look it up. Give me a few seconds. I must first point out. The monster count shows how many monsters are currently on the map. This map, which is this big, all those little white things are either monsters or items, has 3,887 monsters in the lowest difficulty setting. I picked not Nightmare, but Ultra Violence, which is like the step down from the very mean. 4,573 monsters. And let me look up Bridge Burner's thing. I think it's Bridge Burner. Oh, I forgot. I have to have it on that. Bridge Burner is making a game called Age of Hell. In fact, I'm just going to put their Twitter because this person makes really cool WODs for Doom, and it has a project. Next weekend, they'll actually be showcasing possibly a public demo of Age of Hell. And I don't know. It might be amazing. But yeah, that's the Twitter account. Oh, that's nice. We want that. Where's the Switch? It's on the other side, isn't it? Nice. That kind of helps if you're playing and you're not cheating. Anyway, Resident Evil 2 is a great game. The remake is awesome. It's next to 7. It's my favorite. And the last Resident Evil game that I played was Resident Evil 3. I forgot that's the teleporter. And it was a remake. Did a good job conveying the story. The combat was man, I'm pretty sure that it's just one guy made this. I will look it up very shortly. In fact, that's it. We're done with Doom. Wait. Am I not? No, I'm not. Okay. Let's just show off. some of this, right? Look at all of the architecture of this thing. And some of the things that this map does, and some newer maps, never possible in the Doom engine, but with source ports, it's possible. And, you know, better computers nowadays. Because if you look, this shows like every little incremental section. And those arches, I believe, they're like fake sloped. But it is amazing. Even if it's not just one guy, it is crazy. I mean, it's just wow. And there's more. There's so much more of Doom stuff. Look at that. You know, this isn't 3D models either. This game is a 2D game. With the source ports, they've been able to do like tricks that you could do this type of, you know, 3D stuff. Oh gosh, that sucks so much. But yeah, this is a lot of talent, and the community is filled with very talented people that make other levels that are just as amazing. But let's quit. Let's change to the stream ending. Resident Evil 3, great game. The combat sucks. The coolest thing was the last boss fight when you use a railgun on what's it called? Let me look up this Bastion. Bastion of Chaos. I think it's actually just designed by one guy. Let me look at the Doom World form. Yeah, this is freaking crazy. Let me let's switch back over here just so you can see some of the screenshots. I mean, this is all in Doom, which is old. Not in a bad way either. But and that previous map that I played before this one, both of them are just phenomenal maps that the community has made, and like, you know, recently, but there's decades of WODs. So like Doom is one of my go-to to palette cleanse, to just chill. And yeah, it you don't have to cheat in it, right? But my goodness, it sure is fun. So I'd like to thank everybody. If you're gonna play Resident Evil 3, uh, don't play the old one. The old one's fun. The new one is but thank you. Tomorrow, or actually today now, we're gonna play Resident Evil 8 and start that off on the 8th of August. And we'll be done with Resident Evil, which is gonna be awesome. Not in a bad way, but just we're gonna move on to something else. And it's gonna be amazing. So thank you everybody. Thank you for your continued support. Let me check and see if there's anybody that I could raid. Since nah, I don't really have anybody. I need to get people, right? But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great day, Sunday. And as always,